So a few weeks ago I was sitting outside in the dead of night during a thunderstorm watching a lore video on the Professor from the Spyro series like any mentally stable person does, and then lightning struck. Eureka! I should make a video about Spyro. And then lightning struck again. Fuck, I did that 2 years ago. But then lightning struck a third time. Thingus Rackamagookus! I should make a video about Sly Cooper 2, Band of Thieves. And then lightning didn't strike a fourth time, because that would be cringe. Now, why did my brain go from Spyro to Sly Cooper? I don't know. Like we've went over in the past, I have 8-brain. Whenever I'm thinking of the PS2, my brain goes to Sly Cooper. I have an intense nostalgic affiliation to our mischievous raccoon. Now, this isn't abnormal for me. I'm known for being a Master Chief cuck, a Subnautica simp, even a Spyro slut. But the problem with me being a Sly Cooper trooper is that I've only ever played one of the games once, when I was this many. On top of that, I remember very little from Sly 2. The first things that come to mind are stealth taking precedent over combat, which I've always been a fan of, and the first time I was sexually attracted to a cartoon character. Now, as sexually imposing as Police Raccoon number 1 was, I'm actually talking about the first time you get to play as that thick purple dinosaur and see his big old wagon waddle from the back. In a time where I've been shrouding myself in nostalgia, rereading Harry Potter, rewatching Game of Thrones, replaying Halo 2 on Legendary, I've had quite the itch to try and replay Sly Cooper and challenge my brain's confusing nostalgia for the series. So, sit tight for a couple seconds, which will probably be a few weeks for me, while I download a PlayStation 2 and challenge my nostalgia.
I beat the game. It took a little longer than I expected. I had to wait on a new controller from Amazon, which is not because I was playing 2K and I lost to the same kid 3 times in a row and I rage spiked my controller when he sent me a message that LeBron sucked. So if you're thinking that, don't. After finishing Sly 2, beating the game, watching Bentley get crippled by an owl, I was left conflicted because it totally lived up to nostalgia. It was fun, it was a fucking wonderful, cozy experience, but not for the reasons I expected it to be. Usually in my videos, we explore more menial, maybe tangential aspects of a game, not really the core gameplay itself. You know, Spyro's magnetic ass, Call of Duty's trailer music, or Apex Legends' Deep Think backpack. These things hold little to no water when actually reviewing a game, but could be integral to why a game stands out to players. But I don't think anything is more pertinent to describing why Sly 2 is such a blast from the past other than the gameplay. Because it's not very good?
Now, don't get us wrong, it's good, it's just not very good, which I know is a weird distinction to make, because usually when you hear the term not very good, it comes with a negative connotation to it. For example, when Ron is trying to turn that stupid fat rat yellow, Hermione walks in and she's all, "Are you sure that's a real spell?" Well, it's not very good, is it? I don't know why she's buff, but to be honest, I introduced it that way to rile some people up out of the gate, to introduce the point that the gameplay didn't quite live up to the expectations of nostalgia, and also to do a Hermione meme, because Wingardium Leviosa. The gameplay is fun, pretty fucking polished. The stealth systems perform great. The 3 playable characters are completely dynamic from one another. I don't know if it's that important, but the mini arcade games worked into the hacking systems are actually really fun, but it just gets a bit lackluster after a while, and I don't even know if that's a fault of the gameplay or the systems as much as it is just the length of the game. Sly 2's plot is more than interesting enough. You pick up right in the middle of the band's next set of heists, and by right in the middle, I mean the title screen is literally fluid with the gameplay, so when you press start new game, you're just already in it, which cause that's cool as fuck. And you find out through some cool, candid storytelling devices that the plot of this game is gonna be to collect all of the pieces from the final boss from the first game to destroy them and finally break the vendetta/curse on the Koopa family. On top of that, the pieces are being used all over the world for various crimes, like I think some Russian is using the owl dick to print money, a drug lord is using the owl balls for pillows, and Raccoon Interpol gets involved. You gotta sell loot on the internet to get dark web gadgets. I mean, the story is just a hyper-aware comedic labor of love. My only problem with it is it feels thin, sort of
stretched like butter scraped over too much bread.
The game's broken up into 8 episodes, each taking anywhere from an hour and a half to maybe 4 hours to complete, which I think makes the runtime for me close to 20 hours. But that depends on how familiar you are with it, how complete you want to complete it, and how fucking broken your pirated copy is. It's usually fun, it's always charming, and by no means is it ever bad. It just left me with the personal feeling that the gameplay is kind of there as a tool to facilitate a story, and not really the story and the gameplay working in tandem. If the game hit the same beats, told the same story, and delivered the same amount of gameplay diversity in maybe 13, 14, 15 hours of game time, I think I would have had an even stronger and tighter experience with the game.
And we know it's weird to say you want less of a good thing, but I'd rather be left wanting more than left a bit relieved at the end of a game. There's only so much ass digging, sneaking under tables, and jumping around I can do to avoid lasers, especially when the camera's inverted and it doesn't feel like I'm controlling Sly Cooper, but rather an X-Wing fighter jet. R2-D2! I can hold it! Pull out! Pop the cockpit! Bye, R2-D2! Ooh. Murray, the purple dinosaur with the Tonka truck cheeks. His name is Murray. And no matter the ups and downs of the gameplay, Murray and his double bubble weapon of ass destruction never falter. Not a once. But Murray and his clappers are only part of the equation, though. The 3 playable characters as a unit are the heart and soul of this game. They almost feel like the amalgamation of 3 kids' imaginations just wondering how cool life would be if they were secret spies. The way these 3 are written into the game and instituted into the game through their voiceover performances, their art styles, their cutscenes, dialogue, just their overall portrayals, and this comic book-esque presentation style, it makes it feel like, yeah, I'm playing a video game, I'm also reading a children's book, and watching a Disney Channel original. I haven't felt adoration and pride in a game studio like this in so long.
The gameplay may have felt a bit flat at certain points, and the story stretched a bit too thin in certain areas, but I would play this game 100 times over to experience just the overall passion in the way it's presented and the characters and the dialogue. It's a beautiful experience. I kind of feel lucky to have waited to replay this game for so long because it hit super different during quarantine and just gave me all those good vibes I could ever need. If you have the game and you've never played it or just haven't played it in a really long time, go bang through that shit. It'll lift the spirits up for sure. And if you don't have the game and you want to play it, you wouldn't download a raccoon, would you? Should probably put this away. I don't know if you can have those on camera. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I've missed you guys. It's been like 6 weeks. I had to stop streaming because of some family stuff. And I don't know, June hit super hard in a weird way, and I just wasn't feeling the video stuff. None of it was coming to me. It's weird because 2 years ago, actually, June was the same thing, and after I kind of just fizzled out in June and did nothing, I found video essays. And then, we're 2 years later and I have 14,000 of you now. We just hit another milestone, so thank you very much. If you've been waiting for streams to come back, we're streaming today in a couple hours. This video is probably going to go up around 2 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know what day, but whatever day you're watching this for the first time it being live. In a couple hours at 4 p.m. Eastern time, I'm streaming Jackbox with the boys. You guys get to play. I'll pull people into the Discord. We'll all hang out, and that'll christen me back to streaming. So twitch.tv/MillaVanilla_. It's going to be the first link in the description. Go check it out. Come join the stream in a couple hours. Play with us. Contribute. I'd love to see you there. And for any time that I'm not streaming and I'm not on YouTube, the best place to interact with me, find me, and hear some stupid baby ass jokes is Twitter. So follow me on Twitter, JamesMiller_YT. Link in the description. And with all that said, do everything everybody else tells you to do at the end of their videos to my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.